Oh, hello, race fans. Thank you for joining us today. We're here with Drew Schwartz, driver of the 21 JR DirtCar Pro Modified. He runs Kankakee and Charleston. Had a pretty good season. Thanks for joining us today, Drew. Thank you for spending time with us. How you been doing today?
I've been doing pretty good. Woke up pretty early. Luckily, was able to skip school to come work on my car. But yeah, it's been a little chilly, but it's been pretty good.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. So you're in school. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I think you're a senior. Is that right?
Yeah. So my name is Drew Schwartz. I come from a very long line of race car drivers. I'm a senior in high school. I am 17. I turned 18 in June. I started racing about 2020 is whenever I first got my car.
Awesome. So in 2020 is when you started. Was the first thing you started racing a DirtCar Pro Modified, or did you start in something else?
I started in the pro mods. I wasn't able to race very much because I was focused on football.
Okay. Well, what changed your mind to get out of football and completely into racing?
About my second or third year, I started moving up, and I just realized how good I could do if I actually took racing seriously. So made the executive decision to quit football and start racing full time.
What position did you play in football?
A little bit of everywhere. I played corner, safety, wide receiver, went in for running back a couple times.
Okay. What team did you play for?
The Charleston Trojans.
Oh, okay. There's a huge rival between Mattoon and Charleston, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always a fun time. Well, how would you say your experience overall in DirtCar Pro Modifieds has been?
It's been pretty rocky, but here recently it's been very, very good. Just being able to compete with the top guys this year has been really, really fun.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of improvement in going from the guy that's in the show to a guy that's going to be a factor in the show. So your improvement has come a long way, and it's been recognized by a lot of people. So
yeah, glad that I'm making more and more friends and fans in racing. It's been really, really fun. Just with the amount of people that I've made friends with and met this year and just been able to talk to. Like, been talking to Jason Fager here recently. Ryan Unzicker, me and Dees helped out his son at Farmer City. So he's been talking to us. And then Drake Von Dolen, I've known him for a while in racing, and he's been moving up just as well as I have. And Caleb Stevens, I met him because of racing. It's just all been great.
Well, I would say you had a pretty successful season overall. You finally won your first ever feature win up at Kankakee County Speedway. I was a little jealous that it wasn't at Charleston, but hey, you got to take what you can get. Winning is hard. You've been at this since 2020. This is 2025. That being your first win. Tell me about that night and tell me what that all meant, and just tell us a little bit about that whole situation there.
Yeah, so my brother told me that I was going to have a really good chance because he had a bigger race that he was going to, and I just went with that thought in mind, just going to be able to go out there, try and win. I went and set second quick overall. I went and won my heat, and after that, I just knew that I had a really, really good chance. At the beginning, I kind of got hit by the guy that was starting the pole. He told me that he never started before, so he kind of got into me, got my left front all caught in his frame, and he kind of ramped me a little bit, so I fell back to third, but him and the guy that was running second got into it, and I just was able to squeeze right up next to the wall, right around both of them, and take the lead, and especially to do it while Mars was there, so it was on flow. And then just knowing that my stick guy was giving me the gap signals, telling me that I was gaining more and more every lap, it was just great.
Yeah, first wins are always awesome. That'll always hold a special place in your heart and mind, and you'll probably never forget that your entire career, is my guess.
Oh, for sure not, especially in possibly Kankakee's last year racing until somebody else goes and buys it. It'll be stuck in my memory forever.
Yeah, that's unfortunate about Kankakee, but I completely understand, and we do too hope that somebody will kind of pick that mantle up and keep that facility going. I know a lot of our guys go up there on Friday nights, and if that place doesn't continue on, that'll be a really bad deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So early on in the season, you led the DirtCar National points. You could go on their website and you could see your name at the top of the leaderboard. Knowing that your brothers won that every year, how did that make you feel looking there and seeing your name up at the top? Does it make you race any different? Does it make you go to any different places? Is there extra pressure? Like, tell us what that's like to see your name leading the national points.
It was a big eye opener for me, I'd say, just knowing that I can run up there with the top guys and be up at the top of national points. And it totally just messes with everything that you want to do in racing. Just knowing that you want to race for the national points lead and all that, just that changes where you want to run, how you want to run. Just it changes almost anything in any aspect with racing. Like, I'd go to Kankakee and I'd see myself at the top of the leaderboard and I'd be like, all right, well, I got to know, like, I for sure got to race at least a top 5 tonight in order to stay up. So instead of going out there and just winging it, I got to be strategic with how I'm running and where I'm running.
So it kind of makes you think a little bit deeper about those passes and whether or not this pass has a high likelihood of success, or if this is going to cause me to end up on the hook.
Yeah, it just changes all the aspects in racing on where I go, when I go, what I'm going to do that night. It completely changes how your whole perspective on racing goes.
When you find yourself in that position, does it make racing any less fun, or does it make it more fun? Is there more stress and strain, or what's that like?
It makes it a little bit more stressful, just depending on how you take it. I know a lot of people that run up top and national points, they don't even try. They just go out there and run for fun. But me, I've always wanted to beat my brother Deese in national points ever since he has won, and ever since I've seen that I've just climbed up the ranks more and more and more. It's just made it so much more fun for me to be able to chase it, and I love competition. So I just love going out there with some of the best guys that have ever done it and who will ever do it. Just go out there and race with them and just have some fun chasing the top rank.
Yeah, I think all of us have a little bit of a competitive side to us, or else we wouldn't be in this. So you always want to win, right, when you're up front.
Always.
Yeah. So you find yourself second in the points. It's not a high probability, but there is a possibility that if you go to the Fall Nationals and Deese doesn't do well and you do well, you could mathematically take over the title. So you go up to Lincoln to the Fall Nationals. Did you practice on Thursday at all?
Yeah, I made 2 sessions and I went 3rd quick overall from the B mods, and I had the 2nd quickest time whenever it started to slick off a little bit in practice. I had the 2nd quickest time, but the most like average lap times. So I figured right there that I would tweak a couple things the second time I went out, and then I went from there, and I stayed around the same after it had already slicked off. So I figured that I'd be pretty good for the rest of the weekend.
Well, being you said 3rd quick overall?
Yeah, the 3rd quickest B mod overall, and then the most, like the highest time average overall.
They had 30 some cars up there. Is that right?
It was about 45 cars, and I think I was 22nd overall through all the cars.
Yeah. So 3rd quick overall, that's got to make you pretty happy. You feel pretty confident about going into the weekend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Friday comes around. That's day 1. You're collecting points on Friday. Tell me how your morning started. Tell me how you prepared for that event.
So I just woke up. I went out to go check my tires, go check all the bolts and everything that I need to check on my car. And really, Friday was more of the hangout day because I just had to barely wipe it down, get all the mud off, and then put on my tires and get ready. So I was kind of just hanging out most of the day. But I still was checking everything out every once in a while, taking a couple hour breaks between.
Yeah, I'd imagine you go over the car with a fine-tooth comb, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the race begins. You qualified 8th in Group 2, right behind that pesky 121 car. I don't know if you know that guy or not. That's got to be annoying.
I feel like I always am just right behind Deese in qualifying. We are not known for qualifying. We're always those late track guys. We're always doing 10 times better in the slick than we do in the wet. But that's also how we like our cars set up is we go out there, qualify halfway decent, and then heat race and feature will just move up more and more and more as the night goes on.
Right. So that 8th place qualifying lined you up 4th in the 4th heat. You had to finish 4th to transfer. You fell back 1 spot. What happened there? What wasn't right that you needed?
I'd say I was just a little bit too tight. I needed to tighten up my car because it was too loose in qualifying. I think I tightened it up too much, and I was pushing, and then I just kept getting into slick spots and not getting in the moisture like how I needed to, and spinning tires too much, and it just put me back.
So falling back 1 spot knocks you out of locking in. That puts you in the last chance showdown. You line up on the front row, I believe, and you fell back. The results say that you finished 6th, but we all know you didn't actually finish the race. Take us through those first couple of 3 laps and tell everybody what happened. Those that watched on Flow, you have a good idea of what you saw. You know, the fans have an idea what they saw, but we want to know from your perspective what happened.
Yeah, so I go and I'm starting outside pole. The guy slips up and he starts right in the slick and then pushes up into me, and I didn't get a very good jump at all. And then the guy that started 3rd came right underneath, and we went 3 wide off the original start. And the guy who started pole slid me, crossed him over, and then I took the lead going the first lap. And then that second lap, I came around, hit the top really good, got about half a car length. And then going into 3 and 4, I went to go turn in, and I felt something on my right front brake, and I knew there was no turn away from the wall. So I kind of just had to hit the brakes and hope for the best. I ramped the wall a little bit with my right front, came down, sat there for about a second, and I was like, all right, well, that wasn't terrible. And then the guy came up and hit me in the left rear, and my head hit my seat and then hit my steering wheel and knocked me out, and then had to get the top taken off my car, put on the stretcher, and then they took me to the hospital just a little bit after that all happened.
That's never fun. Did you have to go by ambulance?
Yeah, they took me by the ambulance just to be safer since I was on the backboard and everything. So
sure,
they just wanted to make sure I was kept safe.
So they took you to the hospital. You look great today, so I'm going to venture to say that everything checked out okay.
Yeah, they said that I had a slight bruising in my middle back and that I may have a slight concussion. But other than that, they said that all the CT scans came back and I was completely fine. No breaks, fractures, nothing.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm glad to see you up. I know the video didn't look great. It got cycled around pretty quickly across social media. And we looked at the car a little bit ago and we were talking about it. The cockpit does not seem to have any intrusion at all. There's obvious decking and things like that. So the fact that it didn't move any of the interior, that's a good sign. It's unfortunate you got knocked out, but I mean, I guess that's part of it.
Yeah, my neck brace is way too big for my helmet, and I just ordered a Hans device and it didn't come in for that race. So unfortunately, I didn't get all my safety equipment that I needed to for my new helmet, and my Hans device didn't come in. So
yeah. Well, I'm glad to see you're doing good. Those are always scary situations, and I'm certain your mom and dad were pretty upset about it, and not wanting to end their night in the hospital any more than you did.
Yeah, my mom, whenever we came back, she punched me in the arm and told me never to scare her like that again.
That seems exactly like something your mom would do. So I don't want to end on that negativity. Your car looks crashed, but it looks very repairable. It looks like you guys have been working on it, going to get ready for one more race this weekend. So we don't want to end on any kind of negativity like that. I want to talk about the Saturday night portion at the Charleston Speedway of the Fall Nationals there. The Fall Nationals at Charleston Speedway are for the stock cars, factory stocks, and Hornets, but we also race the upper three divisions as well. And Saturday night in particular, you won your first ever feature race at Charleston in front of your hometown crowd. It was pretty exciting. There's a lot of people down there celebrating and cheering. Talk us through that day. Tell us what that meant to you, and just explain that all to the fans.
Yeah, I woke up. I was happy with the car. I went from 8th to 4th the night before, so I knew I had a good car later on, and I just went through it like I did at Lincoln. I did a bolt check. I made sure that everything was running right. Oil pressure, water temp, just everything was good all throughout that day. Did my tires, ground them, made sure that they weren't all blistered and everything. And I just knew that I had to set myself up good for the heat to be able to go out there and do a little bit better than what I did the night before. So luckily I qualified 4th, which is very rare because I usually qualify like outside of the top 5 almost every time I race anywhere. So I qualified 4th, and then whenever I seen that it may have been a bottom track and I knew my Uncle Gabe was on the inside of me, I was a little scared because he's always known to be one of the better bottom feeders that Charleston has. He loves the bottom. He'll fight for the bottom no matter if the top's better or not. He'll always find a way to make sure the bottom's better. So yeah. I got a good start, right? Kept it door to door off the start of the heat race and was able to pull away just a little bit on lap 2. And I was up top in 1 and 2 because I knew it was going to be good just by looking at it. I could go up there and just run all the way around it. And then he started catching me in 3 and 4. So that's whenever on a caution, Deese was up there right after his heat race and was telling me to move down in 3 and 4. So I figured I might as well listen to him, just go out there and try and fend him off. So beat him by about a car length or 2. And I knew that was going to set me up really, really good for the future, starting on the outside.
Yeah, you started outside front row of the heat, then winning that heat caused you to start front row outside of the feature. The statistics say that you led lap 1 and you led lap 15 and every lap in between. I know there were some cautions and, you re-racked the field. That's got to be nerve-wracking knowing that you're so close to winning and then you got to line back up single file. How do you approach those green flags and what's going through your mind, knowing who's behind you, knowing that they got fast race cars, and just how do you handle that?
Just like every other race, I just knew I had to be very calm and collected, not go out there, spin my tires the second I get out there. And I knew it was going to start to catch rubber since we were one of the last classes. So I just had to be smart with how I was going to run and where I was going to run. So off the start, whenever I started right outside of Braden Doyle, I made sure he didn't throw a slider off the first initial start. So I kind of kept it right up next door to door with him, ran right through the middle, was able to kind of pull away just a little bit, just about a nose and a half away. And then going into 3, we were door to door again. And then in about two down the straightaway, turn 2 to about the straightaway, I didn't see him anymore. So I went down really hoping I didn't chop him down. Luckily, he knew what I was going to do. And from there, I just knew I had to run the same line, try and do a couple little things to keep it just out in front, make sure I wasn't spinning tires or nothing. And off that first restart, I knew he was going to be behind me after that. I knew that I got a little bit ahead because I couldn't hear his car anymore. But off that restart, from then on, I heard his car every single time up top in 3 and 4. So I knew he was right there on me. I knew I just had to stay consistent with how I was running. And then
always makes you nervous when you can hear him.
Oh, yeah. But I heard him the whole time after that caution, and I knew I just had to stay consistent, fend him off. And then coming down to the last lap, I seen the white, and I just knew that was whenever I need to be the most consistent, be ready for a slider or anything that was coming my way. So I was just very aware in that moment, looking everywhere on the track, just making sure that I was able to hit my marks. And then whenever I came to the checkered, I was excited. I was just railing the top because I was excited. Just went up there, couple laps, just went up there, railed the top, full throttle. And then coming across the scales, Rodney Standifer, a guy that I've looked up to and that I've been talking to a lot, he was there. He told me good job, and just all the tech guys were giving me fist bumps because they all know that I've been working for it for a while. But yeah, I got out on top of my car, seeing all the crowd clapping, and I could hear them cheering through my car after those last couple laps. So it was just great to hear them all cheer for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Those last laps, when you're leading like that, can seem like they take forever. And like you said earlier, you come from a long line of winners at Charleston. Last year, your dad celebrated his 100th win at Charleston. I don't even know how many grandpas had, but to pick up a win at Charleston, that's got to be super special for you. And, to do it on what ended up being the last night of 2025 has got to be extra special. I know we're proud of you. I was really happy. I was a little bummed as a track promoter to not have your very, very, very first feature win, but I'll share it with Billy. That's okay. So congratulations. We're proud of you, and I'm really happy to see you get that win, bud.
Thank you.
What are your plans for 2026? Are you going to stay with DirtCar Pro Mods, or what are your ideas?
I'm thinking about staying with the Pro Mods for a little while till I win a national championship. I think after that is when I'll think about moving up to modifieds and bigger cars. Hopefully I'll be able to sell my car and get a newer Mark Bush car. I've been running those ever since I started, and I love them with how they are set up for late in the night. They're so much easier later on in the night. And Mark is just really, really smart with how he builds his race cars. So hopefully he's going to buy a newer MBR car and then race for national points again, and then hopefully win it this year.
Well, given the crash you had, they're obviously a safe race car, so that's probably a good thing to stick with.
Yeah.
Tell me about your sponsors. Let's give them a plug right here.
Country Financial, Furry Overhead Door Company, Scott's Custom Colors, Drew Schwartz Trucking, The Winnie Stitch, Triple Nickel Saloon, Acello, Jericho Transmissions, Mark Bush, he's probably my biggest helper, DDT Trucking, just a whole bunch of people help me out. Who else do I have?
I know they're tough to remember, aren't they?
Always. I always forget just those last couple few. Extreme Oils, all those people. Just
is that the big dog guy?
Yeah, Big Dog.
Yeah. Right on. Well, the way I understand it, you did finish second in the national points. Is that right?
Yeah.
And you ran third in Kankakee County Speedway points. You ran fourth in Charleston Speedway points. You got your first ever win at Kankakee. You got your first ever win at your home track. All in all, I'd say that's a pretty successful season, bud.
Yeah, it's definitely been the most successful season I've had, and probably the most fun that I've had, just being able to travel around.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we appreciate having you out at the Charleston Speedway. You have anything else that you want to say before we end this?
I just want to say a big thank you to all the fans that come out to Charleston and everyone that supports Charleston and me and any other racer that's out there. I just want to say thank you to all you guys. Without you guys, there would be no possible way that we would be able to race.
Yeah, that's a fact. Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate you taking this time and sitting down, standing around doing this with us here, and look forward to 2026. Congratulations again, and can't wait for next year, bud.
Yep, thank you.
All right, thank you.